welcome to the Fantasy 4-5 podcast. Did you miss us? Because we've been away for a while. We were helping the Indonesian refugees and the Ethiopian
yes.
farming co-ops in Ethiopia.
Right. I really enjoyed our time over
Just give back, We're
Give
very
back.
fortunate.
I think it's it goes without saying, but the one message we really try to spread on this podcast is to give back to
Positivity.
to the community.
So we
Positivity. Let's just say some words. Care.
Hope.
Love.
Knowledge.
Kindness.
Love.
Starvation. God damn it.
Fucking Brian is calling.
Alright, hold on. Hey Brian, you're on Fantasy 4-5 podcast. Do you have anything to say?
What? Hello?
Alright,
hung
just
up
got
on Brian. Sorry about that. But let's get back to the list. I was enjoying that. Confusion.
Confusion. Confucius.
Countries.
Yes.
A shelter.
Africa.
Whoa, okay, I think that's a little much there. Let's continue. So let's talk about
Descriptive
Texas
words.
football for a second. This is our
transition,
our
bro.
school here. Yeah, I mean, very important subjects. So, pretty shitty season. Pretty bad.
I'd agree.
I don't think there's a, I like to tell people who don't go to Texas, it's really hard being from this big history-ridden school, and we just can't, I think we're here for a dry spell for sure.
It's like we're here to learn things and not for our football team.
Yeah, but I don't know about that.
What's that about?
About 10 years ago, every close game we were in, I was like, we're winning this game. Now, every close game we're in, we're going to lose the game.
That's the opposite
It's
of what
just,
it was.
we need to...
Same goes for basketball.
We need to find... We just need to find whatever we had back then.
We have
need to find
We
Texas.
have excellent recruiting classes coming in, which is good, obviously.
There is
but
hope on the horizon.
There is. That's one of the words we used.
Hope.
Yes.
Love.
Hope. Love.
Confusion, though. There's still some
Confucius.
Turns out we were
All right,
actually
let's
describing
move on
Texas
from the
football,
All right.
and not our
Oh my God, you're right.
trip to
Oh my. Wait, we didn't even go to Ethiopia, did we?
That was
Oh,
just
is-
a bit.
Oh my God, I
Whole
thought
time.
we did.
We were talking about
Texas football.
Welcome to the Fantasy
The
4
whole time,
podcast.
the meaning of it was friendship, not the real treasure. Okay.
Record next year, what do you think?
Record. How many games are there in a season?
12. 13 in the bowl game.
12-0, baby.
Well, 14 by that measure.
I'll
if
go.
we get to
I'll
the
go
playoff.
8-4. I'm pretty confident.
I think we get 9 wins in the regular season.
7-5.
I don't think we
7-5.
lose out of conference. I think
Jared
we beat USC.
sucks. Jared's the
7-5.
Debbie Downer.
We're gonna beat USC
Who is our quarterback next year?
if we find.
That's
I mean,
what I want to know.
we
Who's
need
the
to
guy?
settle on Sam
Jalen Hurts.
Shane.
Jalen.
He
Jalen
can't
Hurts.
throw.
Everybody. Wow, that was good. All right.
He can't throw the ball.
He can't. Oh, he's a running back, but he's not very good.
I can throw the ball.
We have 2 quarterbacks that can't throw. We don't need a third one.
What's the real reason we're doing this podcast, Noah? Not to talk about.
Put on the
Texas.
resume. So tell me something about yourself. Interesting outside the box. Actually, I started a podcast with 2 of my buddies. It's for fantasy football, and we just kind of. Oh, very interesting. So yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the NFL. Let's talk about the playoffs. What do you guys think? Give me some thoughts.
I've enjoyed the playoffs this year. A lot of times, I'll be watching the playoffs and I'm just like, okay, this game's just going on in the background and it's not really doing anything for me to watch,
Right.
But now, every game's interesting.
Well, it's been very intriguing because there's a lot of teams this year that didn't make the playoffs last year that you were expecting. You
Yeah.
want to know how they were going to come out, whether it be the Rams, whether it be the Eagles without Carson Wentz, and then the Falcons of old if they were going to ever show up, which they didn't. So it's like the Vikings. They were a team that you would never expect to be this far in the playoffs, but now
Yeah.
they are. And not to mention the Jaguars.
I think Vikings, without a doubt, most impressive team. This
I did
year.
not. The entire year, I thought they were very good, but I never thought they'd win a playoff game. I just didn't think they'd win a playoff game. I thought when the going got tough that they would not be able to
They're
score.
too stubborn to
offensively.
not win a playoff game. There's teams like the Rams were this hot, explosive team,
Right.
and they're young. They were good enough to win. They were young and they were good enough to win a playoff game, but they just didn't have experience. But I thought the Vikings would just be but it's the opposite. It's more like
The one thing that concerns me though is that their coach Mike Zimmer really did not. Oh my God, Brian!
I hate Brian.
Brian, I'm doing the podcast. Why did I not turn my phone off? I'm doing the podcast right now.
Just turn your phone off.
This is
30 minutes.
This is all staying in the podcast. By the way.
Maybe.
Make sure you tune in.
Hey,
Brian.
just call me in 30 minutes, okay? But
God, I hate Brian.
I hate Brian.
Because
Brian, fuck you. All right.
so back to the one thing is that if that miracle play did not happen,
My playoff prediction would have still been in the running.
It's that if that miracle play did not happen, there would be a whole different storyline. It would be that Mike Zimmer blew the game at the end because he had terrible clock management. It was bad. And it was bad enough to where he gave Drew Brees enough time to go down and score and make it a game. But obviously got, bailed out by the miracle in Minneapolis. The Minneapolis Miracle, the whiff six, I don't know what you want to call it. But
six. I didn't hear that. I haven't heard that one. That's good.
That's just what they're called.
Wow, you're very creative. Let's talk about the future of the playoffs. So NFC, we have Vikes, Eagles. Who do you guys got? First of all,
Minnesota.
I think it's going to be a really close, low-scoring game. First to 17 or 20 wins.
I really want the Eagles to win, though. I'm a first Lions fan, second Eagles fan.
I could see a 20-16 win or
no matter what, though, I think it's going to be an exciting game.
I think some viewers are going to say I'm a bandwagoner.
I think it'll be a fun game to watch.
So I should just say, my family has had season tickets to the Eagles since 1939.
Wow.
So if you thought I was a bandwagoner, you can go in
Honestly,
the closet.
why are you a Lions fan then?
Because I was born in Michigan.
That sucks.
Yeah, I was re-listening to the first episode of our fine podcast earlier today.
Yeah.
And you said a few things about the Lions. You care to share?
I think we can pull up a sound bit, actually.
That'd be lovely.
But before we do that, let's talk about a little bit more about what we think happens. So Mike said low scoring. I think low scoring. I mean, it's honestly, I think if Nick Foles is tied for the most touchdowns in a game. He holds the record with a few other big boys. And I think obviously it's easy to say if anyone has a good game they can win. If I threw the best pass of my life every time in the NFL, I could probably win a game. But I think if Nick Foles, if they can plan well, I don't think it's out of reach.
Well, he certainly has the talent. He has three solid running backs. He's got a good wide receiver core. He's got a great defense. He definitely has the tools available to go out and win the game, and I have a lot of confidence in him. People were like, "Oh, the Eagles are never going to win another game." I didn't feel that way.
They could win this game.
I think they can win the Super Bowl. They could beat any of the three other teams still left.
Nick Foles played great last week.
He doesn't. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, manages the game, pushes the ball downfield.
I think last week they relied on the defense. But I think the Vikings defense is like I said, more stubborn than the Falcons defense.
Right. There's
not as much variable. There's not two, you got the two running backs, I think, figured out more, even though they're less talented. I think there was, I don't know how they can't. It's just Thielen and Diggs. You can somehow teams figure out how to stop Julio. Teams just can't really stop Thielen and Diggs. There's one or the other, yeah. But here's the sound bit of me on the Lions. Here we go.
We're definitely a playoff team. I'll tell you that now.
Let's just say that one more time.
Right now, they're a very conservative offense. The running game is up and down. Passing game's been pretty bad. He's definitely more of a NFL quarterback than
talk about Matthew Stafford,
especially because of those fourth quarter comebacks. But we're definitely a playoff team.
Definitely a playoff team.
Wow, that's just home team bias right there.
Are the Lions not better than the Titans?
They are not.
No, they aren't.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with both of you.
But is it a product? Do you care if I said yes? Because the matter of the fact is that one team made the playoffs and one team didn't. So
one team is in a shit conference with shit teams.
You realize what the AFC South could be next year with Deshaun Watson fully back. The Jaguars aren't going anywhere. The Titans aren't going anywhere. If Andrew Luck comes back, they're the doormat, and it's Andrew Luck who's a top 10 quarterback when healthy. That's the worst team who has Andrew Luck.
But that's
true. The NFC North, the Bears.
I don't want to hear Mike.
The Bears.
Anyways, move on. We can move on to the AFC. The game.
Jinx. You
the
can't
big
talk
game.
until
Let's let Michael take the mic for a sec.
AFC.
The key to the game.
Wait, before we move on, I just want to say, Jared, can you just describe real quick the shirt you're wearing?
Yes, actually, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
So I actually have a nice USC windbreaker.
Okay.
And
the
a
shirt.
Texas Ranger T-shirt. Thank you for asking.
I'm wearing kind of like a vintage Texas football, kind of the old symbol T-shirt, and I mean, kind of random what we're doing this segment. But what are you wearing, Mike?
It's just a
Why don't you
casual
describe
Friday.
it? You describe it.
Oh, okay. This isn't any normal T-shirt we got here. This is a pristine teal numero 20. Sad I didn't know the Spanish for 20. We got my favorite part is the little Jag shield on the left breast. Beautiful. Can you do a 180 for me? Woo! What does that say? It says Ramsey on the back. How many picks does Ramsey have on the worst quarterback on the Patriots who starts?
0.
0.
Brady throws 2 picks.
2 picks
Wow.
against the
It's gonna be a
best.
high-scoring game. I feel
All right,
like.
this is the key to the game, and it's something that goes unnoticed, but it's definitely the key to the game. It's the first quarter of the game. What the Jaguars do when they are winning, they play so much better when winning than when they're not winning. If they get a stop on Tom Brady first drive, and go down and score, it's a completely different game if it's vice versa. Obviously, if you're trailing Tom Brady, it's going to be a nightmare. But when Jacksonville is ahead and playing from ahead, it's when they play to their strengths. And if you look at stats, when Blake Bortles is ahead, his passer rating is 100. And when Blake Bortles is playing from behind, trying to catch up, his passer rating is a 67. So the key to the game is going to be the first few drives, establishing the run and getting ahead. And if they can get ahead, you then put that defensive line and just bear down on Tom Brady. And we know Tom Brady, when pressured with only 4 guys where you don't have to blitz, is no longer
Well, that was
Tom.
long and boring. Oh, yeah.
That's not what this podcast is about. It's not about.
It's just the key to the game. It's the
in-depth
insight. All right,
analysis.
picks.
How do
What
the
do we
Patriots?
think?
How do the Patriots win? Run the ball.
More points than the Jaguars.
All
right, let's hear it.
Tool.
Predictions.
Geez, I think obviously the NFC is an easier one to pick. Jags have been really hot. I think the Patriots pull a Super Bowl 51. I think they're gonna be down. They come back, win it.
I actually think the NFC is going to be a lot easier to pick.
That's
what I said.
literally
I was
what
gonna say-
Noah
Or actually
said.
a lot harder. I was saying the wrong
Come
one.
on.
That's
I think-
one for stupid
I
shit
think
shirts.
this game is definitely going to the Patriots.
Wait, you just said a lot. You just.
I meant the NFC is a lot harder to pick. I think that game's going to be a lot closer.
You think it's a blowout?
No. But I do think the Patriots will handle business.
Damn.
If Tom Brady plays.
Tom
which
Brady's
he
a
probably-
businessman
probably
for
is.
sure.
Minute and a half left in the game.
That would have been a cool nickname for Brady, the businessman, because he takes care of business.
There's a minute and a half left in the game.
Yeah.
Jaguars are up 27-23. Tom Brady's ball. And the Jaguars get a defensive stop and go to the Super Bowl.
Woo!
27-23 Jags.
I'll give you $20. I'll take you. I'll buy you Franklin's.
Deal.
Watch that happen and Noah doesn't upload this till after the game.
All right. Wait, was that some
That's a little shit.
little shade? Yeah. All right. Our seasons. Our fantasy seasons. We'll go through them pretty quick. I got to the playoffs in every one of my leagues. And I think I said this on a previous podcast. In 2 of my leagues, I didn't have a bye in either of them, and I had the second highest score in the league, including bye teams, overall. And the guy I played in both leagues had the highest score so I got eliminated in both. It was like one. I think it was 2 ESPN leagues. One was like 132 to 122, and one was like 120 to like 160.
Those are
or something.
heartbreakers
Girly
because it's
orders?
like
One of them was a girly owner.
because it's acceptable to lose if your team plays terrible, but to lose when your team plays well, it's
Exactly.
just it kills you.
Second place in both of them. My keeper league, I actually put up the highest overall in the first week, so that was the only way I could have moved on. Then in the, I got to the semis, and I will have out of 12 teams, I will have the 9th overall pick next year,
Yep.
which
There
is
you go.
1 pick higher than I had last year. So 3rd place last year, 4th place this year, 5th place next year. Yeah, baby.
Middle of the pack.
Debatable.
Let's hear about you guys.
In the league that I really focused on, finished 5th. It was a disappointing end. I was, top 4 the entire year. As you may remember, I probably highlighted it on an episode, was that the top 2 teams in this league got a bye, and I was looking at getting a bye. However, someone threw a game in the last week of the regular season on Monday night when the Bengals played
What?
the Steelers.
Shout out to Brandon.
So that
Fuck you, Brandon.
so that way I would not get a bye and Brandon
Hey,
would play
How much does
me
Brandon weigh?
180.
Oh,
Height, height,
So
height,
then Brandon
height,
played
height. How tall is
6'1".
All right, Brandon, listen up.
Oh,
I'm gonna fuck you up. You don't mess with my boy Michael.
hey, that's my roommate
Hey.
next year.
Oh, never mind. I want to hang out with you guys. So.
That's
Hey, he's taking 312 as well this semester.
Cool. No one cares.
Anyways, and then Brandon then beat me.
Shout out to Brandon. for
Would have also
being
beaten the
out.
guy he would have played had he not thrown the game. And if he didn't throw the game, I would end up finishing second. But oh well, no hard feelings.
Speaking of guys who are gonna throw
Finished
games, Blake Bortles.
Oh.
How about you, Jay?
Well, I have a habit of losing in championship games.
Don't act like you got to the championship.
Fantasy basketball last year.
No. No one
Lost in the
cares.
championship.
No one cares.
Baseball lost
No
in
one
the
cares.
championship.
Nobody cares.
My 2 football leagues this year
Oh,
lost in the championship in one, and then I came in third in the other. So I did make my money back into my money league.
Hey, did all of us
Finished
get?
above Michael, so I'm therefore
Good.
know more about fantasy.
You
than
literally
Michael.
do you enjoy that the fact you finished above me is because Brandon threw a game? Because if Brandon didn't throw that game, we would have played in the semis and I would have toasted
I
your ass.
enjoy the fact that I'm better.
Hey, let me just to prove to our viewers, all of us get at least 4 or 5 wins in all of our
We
leagues?
did.
At
did.
least 4 to 5.
We
Yay!
might have to bump that up next year.
5,
Maybe.
6. Oh, we think. I think we go 5, 6.
No, I think we
No,
just
too much.
a hard 5.
4.5, 5.5.
Fantasy 5.
Yeah, the fantasy
Ooh,
5.
a hard 5.
Then we're gonna
We
need
need 2 more
We're adding.
people.
Where's Karan?
Karan.
Has Karan accepted the ESPN contract yet?
AJ.
Oh,
Karan,
my
quick!
gosh.
Hey, Karan, have you accepted the ESPN contract now? No.
Ron and Brandon.
Whatever, give me a full scholarship.
Give us an email, Kron, if you are looking for employment next year.
Let's move on. We have a special segment for you all. Let's gonna just turn on the TV real quick. Hold on.
What's on TV today?
Let's see. Oh wow, it's the first annual Fantasy 4-5 New Name Podcast to be named next year awards. Yeah, that's cool. You guys wanna watch this?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Well, let's see what's on else. Let's see what else is on.
Oh, there's
Okay.
nothing else on.
Okay.
Oh shit, it's my only channel. Wonder who's hosting. Welcome to the first annual Fantasy 45 New Name to be announced next year awards. I'm your host, Noah Osfeld. Holy shit, is that me? I think I
Did
got
you
really
say
drunk
Fantasy
last night.
45?
Fantasy 4-5 podcast with my co-host
Jared Williams.
and
Michael Smith.
please take your seats, get comfortable, and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming. Let's just get right into it with our first award. This award is
All right,
for
can we lose
the
point?
best value draft pick. So not the MVP. That was pretty obvious if we did the MVP, but the best value draft picks. And to present our first award, let's call our presenter, Jared Williams.
Hello. Okay. For the best value quarterback draft picks.
Jared's award presenter is a kid from the Bronx, apparently. Don't try, just let it happen.
I can't. You know we got. I can't.
All right, go
Hey,
ahead.
I'm from the
Go
Bronx.
ahead. You know, if you say you're from somewhere, you
Two
automatically have the
nominations-
accent.
Two nominations for best quarterback are Carson Wentz, Philadelphia Eagles.
Wait, we have
Alex
to. We have to.
Smith.
Wait. They don't take.
Kansas
There's a
City
little.
Chiefs.
There's a little like. No, there's a little.
And the winner is Carson Wentz, Philadelphia Eagles.
Woohoo!
Unfortunately, he can't be here tonight.
He died.
He's in surgery right now.
Okay. And for the running back category,
For the running back category, we're not even going to give any nominations because there's only one. It's Todd Gurley. Consistently picked in the third round, Todd Gurley is
yeah, could we do a little
the best value player in fantasy.
All right. Let's do a little like, this person did this and this and this and this. Okay. Cool. All right.
I don't know what you want from me.
Everything. And for our next category, wide receiver, the nominations are DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins was often picked in the second round of drafts and turned out to be a top 3 fantasy receiver. Adam Thielen, this star from the Vikings, turned out to be a consistent receiver, top 10 receiver, and is kind of like short and stuff. It's a little inspirational. And I'm not going to say that. Marvin Jones Jr. This player of the best
What?
team.
Is that because he's a Lions player?
Are you serious?
Muhammad Sanu?
Fuck you. All right, I'm going to go find
Like, yeah, he was good, but you just said Adam Thielen and DeAndre Hopkins.
he
Okay, we had discussed prior to
guys,
the
shut
show,
up. No, okay.
Hopkins and Thielen. That's why.
Hey, for $1 billion, who had more points? Marvin Jones Jr. or Adam Thielen on the season? Oh, what a surprise. It's Marvin Jones Jr., you fuck. The 6 overall in scoring, okay? So why don't you guys go back in your little fucking hole and cry?
Hey, if Adam Thielen had Stafford throwing on the rock.
I don't know. Yeah, that'd be pretty
All right,
true.
the winner is...
And our last contestant is Robbie Anderson, who somehow, being on the Jets, was pretty good. And the winner is... We open the envelope. DeAndre Hopkins. Woo! And now for the award for tight end.
At the tight end position are 2 nominees.
Best value tight end.
Best value tight end, Zach Ertz of the Philadelphia Eagles, and Rico Gathers of the Dallas Cowboys.
Good pick.
And the winner is
And Evan Ingram.
Zach Ertz,
Woo!
Philadelphia Eagles.
Good for him. He really needs this one.
And now for the
defense.
defense category.
Nominee number 1,
Who's it going to be, Michael?
the Dallas Cowboys. Nominee number 2, the Houston Texans. And nominee number 3,
Who's it gonna,
from North Florida,
Who could this be?
the Saxonville Jaguars.
How many
And the
All-Stars
winner
did-
is
The Dallas
the
Cowboys.
Jaguars.
Alright. And now for our next category,
Best kicker.
the brightest future. Greg Sirloin.
Greg Sirloin steak.
The brightest future for a fantasy player. At quarterback, the nominees are Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
Deshaun Watson.
And the winner is Deshaun Watson. For our next category, running back, the brightest future we have Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Kareem Hunt.
What kind of a voice is that?
And the winner is
Saquon Barkley.
that's because I think with Mark Ingram there, it's always gonna be a little like if Kareem Hunt was if Alvin was the only one there, it wasn't that big of a mistake. Shut up. If Alvin was the only one there, he could be top 2, I think. But it just until you're getting 20 carries and 26, 7 touches, you know. All right, let's continue. Brightest future wide receiver nominees are Juju Smith-Schuster, Corey
D.D. Westbrook,
Corey Davis, and
Calvin Ridley.
Marquise Goodwin, and
What?
Robert Woods,
What? How old are these dudes?
and
And the winner
and
Don't say Ted.
Michael Beasley. And the winner is Juju Smith-Schuster. Woo!
Good for him.
And now for the next category, we have tight end. The nominees are Evan Ingram. And the winner is Evan Ingram.
Let's go. I was pulling for him.
Now for the next category, let's bring out Michael Smith.
Into the mic. Into the mic.
Thank you, Sir Noah Opsfeld.
I am the sir.
Of House
Our third category is intriguing players for 2018. At the quarterback position, nominee number 1, Jimmy, the sexiest man in the NFL, Garoppolo.
He is so handsome.
He is.
Honestly.
If I
Nominee number 2,
He looks like there's a Jersey Shore for like scholars.
Kirk Cousins, mainly for where he's going to be next year.
Where?
Maybe North Florida, maybe Jacksonville.
What about Central Florida?
Oh, good call. Maybe he'll go back to college. Nominee number 3, Alex Smythe. Pardon, Smith. Someone misspelled it. Nominee number 4, Patrick, Patty Ice, Mahomes.
Woo! Is that the first?
And the winner is
Blake
Jimmy
Bortles.
Garoppolo. Congratulations, Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree.
You're no longer in
Congrats.
Tom Brady's shadow.
I agree. With
So
At the running back position, we have Mr. Dalvin, I like to cook, Saquon Barkley,
Saquon the dog Barkley. Ooh.
and
no.
the Green Bay Packers backfield.
Backfield.
Very intriguing.
Including Ty Montgomery
And Aaron Jones.
and
I forgot the last.
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams.
the winner is the Green Bay backfield.
They needed an award.
Ty Montgomery was very good before Aaron Rodgers died this year.
And he broke a rib.
The category for intriguing players in the wide receiver section are Corey Davis, Allen Robinson,
Oh, that's a good one.
and Robert Woods.
That's not as good.
The winner is,
Allen
Robinson.
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 and the category for tight end for intriguing player is David Njoku, who's not a joke. Charles Clay, and the winner is
David Njoku.
Joku.
He's a real run blocking tight end.
Guys are still this.
Who's going to throw him the ball next year?
And
We
the
don't know.
intriguing defense. The nominees are the Detroit Lions, and the winner is the Detroit Lions. Okay. All right.
Here's something. Playoff team that didn't make playoffs this year.
The Detroit Lions.
The Raiders.
The Jaguars.
How can they be a playoff?
Wait a
team? They
minute.
didn't make the playoffs though.
Whoa.
Playoff team next year. It didn't
Oh,
make it
okay.
this year.
Oh, playoff team
The
next
Raiders.
year.
John Gruden. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Dubs.
Shout out
honestly.
Grudy.
Shout out to
The
my
dub.
homies in the Dubs.
And the
Seahawks.
dub.
I think Seahawks will get it figured out. They're so good.
I don't.
They're good at football.
Actually, I do. They just
Getting,
Tom Cable went to the Raiders, which means they're actually gonna have a good O line this year.
That's like the most cable guy name I've ever heard.
He's the worst O line coach ever.
Don't disrespect him.
Tom Cable.
The Seahawks O line is garbage.
Dude, he
Don't
has.
disrespect him.
Tom Cable has such an easy career lined up if the whole offensive line coach doesn't work out. Just become Tom the Cable guy. Cable.
The Chargers make the playoffs.
Nah, I don't think so.
No,
Raiders suck.
You suck
Broncos
my
are ass.
Whoa! No profanity, you fucking bitch.
Watch your
Shout out
performance.
to Noah's mom.
Shout out AJ.
Shout out to AJ. Quick shout out to AJ. We'll have a separate episode later this week. Just a complete shout out to AJ. But shout out to AJ for loaning us this mic. Our podcast would have sounded like this if it wasn't for this mic.
So thank you to AJ.
Shout out AJ. And shout out Michael's mom.
Shout out
Ooh.
Michelle.
Shout out Michelle. Michelle, let me tell you something real quick.
Let me tell you a little something about your son.
If you,
It's a weird.
in your next life, I want you to name your kid like Hexapody or something. Or Simon Man. Okay, Michael Smith, really?
What's your sister's name, Michael?
You're like the resume template. Michael
It's actually
Smith.
Larry Longhorn.
Oh no, it's also John Doe. Larry Longhorn, Michael Smith, John Doe. Who you taking out? Who do you want to have a beer with between those three people? I'm taking John Doe. Obama. Bill Clinton, honestly.
If I ever get if I buy a Longhorn
Where is he going with
and it'll
this?
be a baby Longhorn, I will name
Name
it
it Larry.
Bevo Jr. and then I can abbreviate that by just calling him BJ.
Have
That
you-
was the worst punch.
Whose idea was this? This dude.
That's Jordan Stroop. Shout out Jordan Stroop.
I knew that wasn't your idea.
BJ.
That was way too
Alright.
stupid.
Well, we kind of want to keep the podcast short. We know our parents who are listening to this and the older people who listen to this have things to do.
Probably falling asleep.
Probably falling asleep in
I'm
there.
walking the dog to this.
And they want to read their AARP magazine. Ooh, roasted because they're
Boom, roasted.
boom roasted.
Listen
But
to NPR.
but in
It's been a hell of a ride.
but in reality though, I just want to say something real quick. I really like fantasy football, and at the beginning of this year, I've had the idea for a fantasy football podcast. I've been listening to fantasy football podcasts for a while now, and I know I like doing kind of funny stuff, and I said, why not? And I thought to myself, who are some guys on campus who I could do a fantasy football podcast with, who are the stupidest, like, wackest guys. And I found two of my buddies here, Michael and Jerry. Thanks for being on the podcast with me. I'm really looking forward to what we have in the future. Hopefully you guys can put a little more effort into helping me a better podcast. Next year,
It's been a pleasure.
it's definitely going to be a little more established. We can get all the weeks in, not starting in week 6, was it? And, so maybe have a pre-draft episode and whatnot.
Yeah, we just wanted to get
Right.
a feel for things this
Right.
year.
Put it on the resume.
Put it on the resume.
But, and to the viewers, to the few, the proud, the
Stay
brave.
classy, San Diego.
We really appreciate you guys. You know, we do this for fun. We're not making that much money off this. I mean,
We do it for y'all. That's what
I'm
Noah's
making
trying to say.
$600K. These guys only make $180K.
Right.
So we
Just
do it for you
part-time.
guys.
Scraping the
Part-time.
bottom.
Scraping the barrel. So we really appreciate you guys. And if you guys ever need any recommendations for restaurants, feel free to comment on one of our videos. We love you guys. And yeah.
Oh boy.
This gets me.
Wow. It's gonna be a while until we do one of these again. This is sad. I love you guys.
Love you, man.
Bro.
Closing time. Open all the
Just so you viewers know, we have our arms around each other. We're swaying back and forth.
Listening to our favorite group. Semi-song.
And we'll be back next year with a whole new name. Because whoever came with Fantasy 4 or 5 is an idiot. But it was good for the time being. It'll be Fantasy 5. I think 5, 6 is a little
We're
ambitious.
gonna get at least 5.
At least 5. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time.
Hey!
You don't have to go home, but you can.